Village of Armada regular council meeting will now come to order. Will everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you kindly. Clerk will call roll, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Wallach.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Slutz.
Here.
Pelkey.
Ross is here.
All present. Next is the approval of the agenda. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
By Shaw.
Michelle was the general business 3B, that adder, changing the meeting time for August 9th.
Oh, you know what? Is that, Joe, can you check the window? Just check the window on the agenda and make sure there's a B on there for new business.
There's not.
On the window?
There's here, there's not.
No, I know on here, but depends on how it was posted. We can add it. I mean. Sorry, I think the tree's in her way.
Yeah, it's on the window.
It's on the window?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
so-
council item, Mr. Ballard and Mr. Shaw, please.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
One second.
Next is the citizen comments. We did, record show that we have no citizens in the audience.
No, we have to vote, Mr. President, we have to vote on the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, on the motion to approve the agenda, what is council's wishes? Any further discussion first? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next is citizen comments. There's no citizens in the audience, so we'll move on to presentations. There's no presentations also tonight. And next is the administrative reports. So we have F&B report, treasurer's report, code enforcement, and the liaison's report if there's any. What is council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'd just like to do a quick little report on the F&B report, please.
Yes.
If you would so kindly look at administrative report, it's about the third or fourth page in. Action items, as you know, the bids came in rather high on the plant, and we started cutting things back to the bare bones. One of them being the action item that we're talking about, the alarm dialer, the PLC. Been having some trouble with it. Those were not going to be updated from what we cut back now. So I think in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna make a presentation that we have upgrade the PLC because of the alarm situation we've been having down there. We've had people come in, trying to backtrack, see what they can do. It takes them a couple hours just to read the old language, to get into it, and it's been a real pain. So just kind of look that over, and like I say, in the next couple of weeks, I think I'll be making at least one recommendation. I don't want to have to spend all that money, but according to Matt, if the village is not able to upgrade both the PLC processor and the dialer, he said the PLC processor is more crucial piece to upgrade it. He has also talked to Rowe to make sure there is no problem with any of the other upgrades we're doing in there. They will interface together, so that won't be a problem. So I'll be bringing this back. Anybody else have any other questions?
Are they, you seeing a lot of false alarms?
Yes.
So the guys come in, they spend the time, you gotta
Yep,
pay them, and
yep.
there's nothing.
Right. So,
It makes sense to fix it.
yeah, it does.
Then
And
it's wasted
it-
money. You know.
that alarm system is from way back, way back. So a lot of the stuff kind of fell through the cracks because of, again, the cutbacks we had, some of the stuff we thought we'd be getting, we're not, so.
That's still part of that, was it the Aerojet system or something like that?
No, I forget what it's called, but, anyway, it's needed, and I want you to kind of think about it, and I'll be coming back with that in a couple of weeks, so. That's all I've got right now, Mr. President.
Good, thank you. Do you have anything additional on the treasurer's report, Joe?
No, is what it is.
Okay, you have your code enforcement report, and next is the liaison report. Any liaison want to have any
I've just got water items,
short,
Mr. President. so-
any short one?
I've just got water items, so I'm gonna bring them
Put
up.
on water, okay,
Yeah, at the old business.
that'll save us some time, good.
Yes.
And next is a consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of December 14th, and payment of bills. What is the council wishes?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Vote by Ballard, supported by Clark. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Sewer plant update, is there anything additional, Mr. Clark, you'd like to?
They're just moving on with the new pipe layout and the pipe room there. They're still working.
Very good, thank you. And next is the water commissioner, Mr. Bell.
Okay, just a couple items. I think I may have touched upon this at the last meeting, but I've been communicating with Sunshine Water Services. That's the company that was working to get the new media further developed and certified so that we can swap out the media in our 4 filtration vessels in the water treatment plant. This has been a 2-year odyssey to try to get this done. I've asked them to sit down with me and set up a schedule of how this might work. If you remember the cost for this, it's very high, $371,000, $372,000 for 2 out of the 4. The price for the follow-on 2 is a little bit less. We would only do 2 right now. We would do the 2 worst vessels that have the most saturation, the highest saturation levels. Of the $372,000, the proposal that they gave us several months ago calls for us giving them 65% up front. That gets the ball started, and then at completion it's another 35%. So as I develop this schedule, I just want to let you know that I'm looking to get the ball started, again, subject to council's approval, but get the ball started this fiscal year, and then work it in such a way that it completes next fiscal year. So we're splitting the cost up a little bit, makes it a little bit easier, especially when you stop and consider that some of the revenues that we've expected this year to come in from water and sewer bills haven't come in. So, and we are tracking what those deficits are to the financials. So, so just want you to know that that is in process, and hopefully at a meeting in January, the first or second meeting, I'll have a proposed schedule how we may want to do this. Next item is, I recall a couple months ago, we hired F&V to do a capital improvement plan and funding option report for us that looked at streets, sewer, water. And the point that they were supposed to give us a report was this coming Wednesday for a meeting on the 28th. Well, the meeting is tonight, it's not on the 28th. So I just want to tell council, I do have a couple, I do have a draft report from F&V. I haven't even had a chance to look at it, just came in today. I've told F&V, don't sweat it too much because our next meeting will be on the 14th of January. So I'm going to take a good look. I'll put in Lyle and Chris's box. Lyle can take a peek because he was part of it. Chris is the new street commissioner, so he'll need to see it. Steve will get a copy. I'll take a copy. I want any comments, anything that you think is missing or you want to see on that. Before the 14 January meeting, we'll have a final draft report, which will stay in draft until council approves it, right? The good news is we've got it, and we'll continue to work it and tweak it here up to the 14th of January, which is our next meeting. And that's all I have for my reports.
Ross,
Yeah.
have you heard any more about the second possible media, or any more talk of that, or no?
No, I did bring it up with Jim McIntyre, and he said it looks like your iron content is too high to qualify for that media. You would have to re-engineer the plant
Yeah.
to use it.
No.
In theory, it would have been a cheaper media, but, re-engineering the plant brings up a whole host of problems we
Okay,
don't want to get into.
yeah, no, okay,
So,
thank you.
good question, though.
Is that it, Mr. Bill?
For the, under old business, yes.
Yes, okay, good, thank you. New business approval of the bridge contract modification, F&E, transition to water works management and water treatment plant operation.
Okay, and that's me again. So I put in front of you two documents. One is it's a modified F&B operations proposal for management of portions of the waterworks, the village waterworks, and operating the water treatment plant. There's also a professional services agreement. The professional service agreement really stands in for what we talked about last time, what we thought was going to be a contract modification to Steve's wastewater treatment plant. Modifying that appeared a while back to be the simplest, easiest way to go, and we got into it based upon changes that I wanted in there and Jeff was asking for. We decided, we're not going to go that way. We'll just leave it alone, and instead do a professional services agreement. So again, because of the change in the meeting dates, we had to do this very quickly. We again thought we had to the 28th, and so ergo there was time to get all the paperwork back and forth, make changes, get it ready to sign. We literally did this over the weekend. I sat down with F&V and we worked out a couple modifications. We got them into Jeff. Jeff answered me back on Sunday, so we know he was working on Sunday. He came back on both of the documents. The one single change to the proposal is he just wanted the dates, specific dates in there, so the period of performance for this agreement is January 4th through the 31st of March, which is a Friday, right? So it's a Monday through a Friday. On the professional services agreement, I'm not going to go into it in any degree, but if you look at it, you'll see some strike-throughs. All of the strike-throughs in this document, there's 4 pages to it, are Jeff's recommended deletions. In other words, take that stuff out. I did get back with F&V, and F&V today gave me, again, it's time, gave me a verbal that they will take all of that stuff out. They don't have a problem with it, and I did get just a very cursory note that they're good with the changes, right? So this does all of the stuff we talked about at the last meeting where council approved, I can't remember the exact amount, $18,000, not to exceed $18,000 for the 3-month transition to management activity. So with the dollar amount being good, and again, I think that's well over what we're gonna wind up paying. But I wanted to be safe, because I don't know what's gonna happen, right? I wanna be safe about it. And so, and I didn't wanna come to council midstream saying, we're out of money, we had to stop doing everything, I need more money. So $18,000 for the 3 months is well over what I expect the cost to be. So we've got the dollar amount approved. All that remains to be approved now is essentially the PSA, the services agreement to do this. And so what I'm gonna ask for tonight is council's approval to let me go ahead and sign it. You did get that in your packet, but it's junk paper now because it talks about the contract. Instead, it's a professional services agreement. So, I would like to, if I can find what I did with it. Nope,
Okay.
I got it, and this is Jeff's recommended language. So, Michelle, I'll get back with you if you miss any of it. Make a motion to approve the proposal and professional services agreement between the Village of Armada and F&V Operations and Resource, gosh darn, and F&V Operations and Resource Management Incorporated for the Waterworks Support Services, and to authorize the Water Commissioner to sign the agreement on behalf of the village. Phew.
You're changing that to waterworks, right, that water treatment plant?
Yes, because it's more than just water treatment.
Okay. Right.
It's, and so when I say waterworks support, in my mind, it includes operation of the water
Okay.
treatment
All
plant.
right, that's fine.
I will support that motion.
Been moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Not discussion per se, but Lyle did bring up a point that I'm going to check on. It's just, and I didn't have a good answer for it. That's a good question. On the third page under dispute resolution is talking about if there's any legal disputes, they get resolved in Kent County, Michigan. I don't know if Jeff and I and Blair all missed that, or if that's where where they would go to file a disagreement because it's close to their corporate headquarters. I'm not quite sure. I will get that worked out. And I'm asking council to trust me to get this document updated. All the strike-throughs will be, like I said, taken out, and I'll figure out what's going on with Kent County, if that's correct or not. And so I would not sign these documents until that's taken care of.
Anything else? We're looking also, in conjunction with this, the transition. I see that they have 2 other people.
Yep.
A Rich and a Catherine.
Mhm.
And also, transitional certified operator is $85. Did I miss, or these other 2, if they're under Chris, they would be getting the same price? Or
No.
they would be getting less?
They would be getting less. So Chris Munson is a certified operator, that's who that is. That's his hourly rate. We do not expect either of these other 2 people to be involved, but for example, if Chris is scheduled to be here for a couple days and can't be here due to some emergency or whatever, they may throw Rich into it, and he's at a lesser rate, so whatever we would be charged would be at a lesser rate.
We don't know that now.
We don't know. I mean, you gotta give some opportunity, I guess. What I would say is we wanna make sure we got a backup if Ed is expecting F&V to be there to do something and they can't show, then they're gonna put one of these other people in there. And I don't have the lesser rates for them, but it wouldn't be 85, it might be 75, or it might be $50 an hour.
Well, I don't like the word might. I don't like it at all.
Okay, well, what would you like me to do?
I think it should be spelled out. They got pretty well professional contract here.
No?
This is not professional.
Well, I can put, let me propose to do this, I can get the rates for those guys and I can put them in, but I don't know, again, my discussion with Blair is that Chris is the guy that's gonna be here.
We
He is-
understand that.
He is the guy that's gonna be charged, so, but if he doesn't show up, I don't think any of us knows when he will or won't show up. if
No,
he's
I
got
mean,
an
that's,
emergency.
that's.
But we can put the rate in there, so,
Yeah, that's why you decide the point, but it should be
Yeah.
spelled out. You know, like I said, if they're gonna still continue with the experience of 25 years, you know, that puts me in poverty.
well, no, I can get, have him put the rate for those guys in again, I would be overly concerned if it was gonna be more than 85, but it's not, so.
Well,
But I will
understand-
put it in.
I understand that, but that's not saying it here. You know,
I will-
I'd like to see it in black and white.
Okay, I'll put it in,
Yeah,
so,
they're proposing, but they're not proposing the fee, which they already have with the certified operator. They're certified also in my consideration, but the thing is, they're not spelled out.
Yeah.
The wage.
yeah, I don't,
And so that's why I say that's
I don't
an
have,
item that we really need.
I don't have a problem with doing
No.
that, that's fine, I can have them put the rate for those guys in, and in fact, I'll go one step further and say that it's not anticipated that those guys will participate, but I'll get the rate in there. What I would ask council to do is trust me to do it, so that I've got the next 2 weeks to get the paperwork done and in a form that, that we're talking about here tonight, so then I can sign it, so on 4 January, these guys can start. Unless you wanna wait till the 14th of January.
Well,
I mean, that's our alternative, I think.
what's the rest of the council think?
I'm willing to still support
Well,
it.
Ross has gone this far, I don't see anything wrong with going along
Yeah,
with that.
I mean, I'm not disputing what you're saying.
Yeah,
You know, we can do that. We can get those rates in.
you still wanna be ready the 4th, you know.
I personally want to be ready to go on the 4th. That's when we have a physical start of work meeting, either on the 4th or the 5th with Ed, Blair, Chris, myself.
There's no distrust on your part, okay?
No, not to put that in,
So we
because,
understand that.
yeah, because we've got some time here.
Yeah, right, so that's where I
No,
feel.
I
And I
I
think it's
would,
more important.
yeah, makes
Now-
sense, makes sense to me.
I'm thinking that they'll be able to use what they learn about what they have to provide, what they're gonna have to do, so they can give us a quote for what a yearly cost would be. Because I wouldn't wanna take 4 times $18,000.
No,
No,
I did a little bit of simple math today, because I knew the question would come up. So if you look at $85, which is a high rate, what we're looking to do is to get somebody at a lower rate in, and not for 20 hours, right?
Right.
For under 20 hours, where we've only talked about 20 because that's what Ed has put on the table.
Yeah.
And there may be many reasons why he's dedicating 20 hours to it, right? We would,
I imagine it changes every week for him.
yeah,
I'm just
I do
guessing.
too. But if you took $85 an hour times 20 hours a week, that's $1,700 a week. $1,700 a week times 52 weeks is $88,040, right? No other costs are factored in, so there's not, profit's not factored in and so on.
Yeah.
So most companies, I don't know what it is on the private sector, I know what it is in the military, it's like 5 to 7.5% profit, right? So if you do 10% profit, that's another $8,840 on top of the 88. If you did 15%, it's $13,260 on top. So I said, what the heck, 20%. I'm gonna give them 20%. This is just an excursion, right? So if you added 20%, which is $17,680 on top of the 88, you come up with $106,080, right? And that's 20 hours a week at $85 an hour and 20% profit on that for what that cost is. So
I think we'd have to look at Plan B then.
plan,
I think we'd have to go to Plan B. I don't think we could add $100,000 to our water.
well, again, you're you know, you've got Ed's retiring, and so you've got Ed's salary to work with,
Yeah.
right? And so this is a little bit higher at 20%, I don't know what it's
But
gonna
we're gonna
be.
give Dave a bump and we're gonna hire also hire a
Yes,
third person.
yes,
Or
and we've
another
always,
worker, so.
yeah. We have never maintained that this was gonna be parity, right? We've never maintained it, we said it's gonna cost probably a little bit more, but, that's a high amount to me, that 20%.
Yeah, I bet
so
they don't have to do it 20 hours.
I would certainly not want them to do 20. We want them to look for efficiencies, and they have indicated to us their costs can go down if they know they've got some longevity in the contract. So I'm throwing this out to give you an idea. So at $108,000, I'm not falling out of my chair. I think that's a lot to me, but that's not necessarily a whole lot extra over what Ed was making. And he kind of moves on now, and we've got that pot of money to deal with a little bit extra that we would have to come up
Yeah,
with.
You look at Ed's salary going totally to this, but even if
No.
it's 20 hours a week, Ed puts in another 20 to 25 hours a week in his other category, and that money was still, I think we just look at it a little different.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know.
I'm sure we do. I'm thinking this is a good deal, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm just throwing it out there to be honest.
No.
You know, nobody else is saying nothing, but, according to Ed and Dave, they think he could do that. Now, I'm not saying we want to have Dave do that, but that's still a possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because actually myself too, I think you said 108,000, and that's total probably you made for the year, almost. And like I would go ahead and I would remove the company and to go with our employee instead, because we would get it much cheaper, in my estimation.
Yeah,
As long
maybe
as-
not, right.
As long as everything stays about the same.
Yeah.
I would just not renew a contract.
Right, and we always have that option, right?
Yeah.
We do that for the DPW side of it, and we do for anybody that's managing the waterworks. We principally went down this track because we thought our ability to find somebody that was gonna work at a lower rate and do water on top of all the DPW tasks with two other guys, we would have a very difficult time finding anybody to do that. And who knows, maybe
And
we
of
get
course,
lucky and we find
And
somebody.
that's true.
But we thought this was a much better way to go. We can get some efficiencies out of the company that's working both water treatment and waterworks, and we pass as much as we can back to the DPW staff that now is really going to have a focus elsewhere besides water, right? So you get a lot more done in the village, I think.
Which we
than-
could need.
Until we go down this road for a month or two to see
That's
how
right,
this
that's what I'm
goes.
saying,
We
this
don't
will be
know.
the basis
Yeah.
for a quote from them.
Yeah.
We could talk about it till we're blue in the face,
Right.
until we
Right.
actually get numbers and time spent to see if it's the right way to go.
Right. And any long-term contract, just to add, any long-term contract, and that's the next thing that Steve and I need to do, because we've got 3 months now to consider longer-term contracts, is you would always do a 1-year base, and then you would have options. And if the company was just it wasn't working out well, then we find somebody else, but then we also, on our side, we have time now to really dig in and try to solicit for somebody out there that wants to do the job. And we
Well,
can
because
go-
we'll still have one available, which will be probably our DPW supervisor. So the thing is, with the new one coming up, his intention is very, very good to go forward and look and take the test and everything.
Yes.
So we would have two then, just like we have now.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
and you could.
It would be an excellent fallback, in other words.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And really, you think about it, that's, Lyle, Steve, and I knew that we didn't have much time, but we're trying to give ourselves as much flexibility and as many options as possible. And at this point, juncture in time, this seemed to be the best thing to do. bolster the DPW staff, get them out of water, and get a professional manager in to do the water. But if, as, you know, Steve says, if, you know, over the next 3 months,
It gives us an
to a year.
opportunity to look at a lot of different alternatives.
Yeah,
Because we've been catching a lot of flack from the Eagle also about the manpower situation that we have.
Yeah.
They say.
Well, Eagle will never be happy with us.
This is true. This is
They'll
true.
never be happy, no matter what we do.
right, but what, I think what they were doing is just, they were bringing up the obvious, that you got too much work for the DPW staff to do for the people you got. And one of the things they said was suffering was the water department.
When they keep adding costs to you,
I know.
they added the whole
They-
arstic thing on us.
Yes, they keep adding mandates without giving any money.
Right.
Yep, yep.
You know,
They always say new broom sweeps, and
Yeah.
their broom is.
whether you spread it over 2/3, 1/3, it's still $300 and some thousand. That's a lot of money to come up with out of that water budget.
In reference to what?
The 367,000,
Oh,
just
well,
going
that's-
back.
Yeah, but,
I'm looking at the total costs.
no, I know, you start to look at it, and it's one of the reasons
I'm
we've done
having
the capital.
nightmares, I'm having nightmares on this,
Yeah.
seriously.
I think we actually totally, now, we've covered this pretty good. And I think now it's, because we're repeating ourselves, and I don't wanna do that.
Okay.
So the thing is, I think I'm ready for a
Got a
motion.
motion, got a motion on the table,
Yeah.
and support.
I support it.
Right.
Okay, Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
whoops, what did I do?
Chris?
Sleds,
Yes.
sorry, and Wallach.
No.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Yep.
Again, I will not sign off until we get the corrections made and we get your piece in. And
We have a lot of trust in our the trustees here. No, that's no problem.
Thank you. And that's what I was asking for, so I appreciate that.
Right. We're here for taxpayer purposes, you guys can make it.
And that's all I got.
Very good, Mr. Brophy, thank you. Next is the resolution that we're gonna change the time for August 9th, which is their starting. So we'll be going back to the 7 o'clock time on the August 9th of 2021 meeting instead of 6 o'clock. What is council's wishes?
I'll make a motion that we change the August 9th meeting.
To amend the meeting time for the August 9th, 2021 meeting from 6 to 7?
Yeah,
Okay,
Support.
exactly what I've done.
By Shaw.
good.
Sometimes if you ask, I can't hear where it's coming from. Very good. Any further discussion? Sounds good. All in favor?
Aye.
Good, motion carried. Next, any up and coming agenda items that council wants to put out?
Yes, I'll have before you the capital improvement planning and funding evaluation of the village. This is the draft I was talking about a few minutes ago. Dave, this will keep you up at night.
Okay, anything else?
I will be getting
I'm
the
gonna walk the
capital,
department.
their budget capital sheets out first part of next week. So start thinking about what you wanna put into your budgets, get it to me as soon as you can.
Okay, thank you. Citizen comments, record show again, there's no audience, no citizen to comment, so we'll move on to council comments, if any. Council Lammy.
I just want to thank the office staff and Becky for helping me out on a bunch of this stuff. You know, Michelle was working that issue with the county, so I appreciate that. And Merry Christmas to everybody out there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Boy, you guys sound jolly.
Community events, is there any community
Merry
events at this
Christmas,
time?
yeah, Merry Christmas.
No community events at this time. At this-
Missing them.
Also at this time, I'll introduce a motion for adjournment, please.
The time is 7:36.
Seven.
7:36. I move to adjourn.
Support.
Well, who got that?
Everybody.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.